Hey, welcome. We're going to do some shoulder rehabbing today. So, not your typical weightlifting trying to get muscles and strength, but more trying to get into those small little areas in our shoulders that sometimes feel tight. Maybe you don't feel like you have full range of motion. Maybe you just need to strengthen softly and gradually because you've been injured. Whatever the case may be, we're going to work with the bands today and try and give your shoulders a little opening and stretching and strengthening and lengthening. Before we get started, I just want to talk to you about the types of bands that are available. A lot of us have those long flat bands that you get in rehab, and those are great. But what I'm going to use today is a band that I've ordered that also comes with something that you can put in your door to anchor it. Now, you could just take your flat band and throw it over the top of the door and close the door and make sure it's anchored. But if you had one of these nifty little gadgets, this goes on the outside of the door on the opposite side from you. And then when you close the door, this loop stays in the room with you, and you can take your band that has the two loops on the end, thread it through here so that now it's hanging from the door. And then a lot of these bands come with handle attachments. So you can put a handle for your hand or a little handle for your ankle. And you can order sets of these online, or you can go to your local sports shop and find them. But they are a great tool, and they do make things a lot easier to hold. So that's just a little aside before we begin. All right, so when you see me using mine, that's what I'm using. All right, let's get started. We're going to start with a little warm up because you never want to work muscles unless you're warm. So we're going to start by just doing a little bit of marching around, right? Now you can put on some of your own music if you want, if that keeps you motivated, right? I like to work out to music, but I'm going to let you do your own thing today. Okay, shrug your shoulders up and down a little bit. We're trying to just get them loose. Yeah, there you go. Right, and so if it makes you feel better to shrug and dance, you go ahead and rock on. Do what makes you feel good as long as you're moving. All right, we're going to just take a little crisscross with those arms. Okay, the feet don't have to move, but it does get your blood flowing, so good. All right, a little bit of moving, rotating, one shoulder at a time, circle, circle, circle. Let's go in both directions. We'll circle the other way, right? You can even do a fake swimming. All right, just enough to get some blood flowing and get you warmed up. Let's start with a couple of exercises before we use the bands. Some reverse push-ups. Find yourself a wall that has some support on it, right? Don't use something that's going to move as you lean on it, because I want you to put your upper body weight against it and move your feet forward maybe like 6 inches, okay? Anchor your elbows on that wall. Now push your body away from the wall. So these are reverse push-ups. Keep your neck long, keep your chin level to the floor, and just press your body away from the wall. Each exercise that we do today, we're going to do about 12 to 15, and I am not counting exactly. If you feel like you want to count exactly, please do. Otherwise, you can just join me and approximate. Let's do a few more of these and really get strong in the stomach here so that you're not bending, you're not arching, you're not bending forward. You are straight and strong. Your body's like a plank of solid wood that's moving in one line away from the wall. All right, now we're going to do 2 more sets of push-ups. That one was the easy warm-up set, which you feel behind your shoulders. Now we're going to turn around. We're going to do the first set with our hands close and our elbows in, and the second set with our hands wide and our elbows open. So for set number 1, hands in. See how low my hands are? I'm going to press myself back. If it's too easy, be honest, step a little further away. Same thing. Elbows stay close to the body. And don't bend your back. Don't arch inward, and don't stick your booty out. A nice straight body that moves in and out from the wall. All right, let's do our wide hand set now. Open your hands. As soon as you open your hands, your arms come up. That's what we want. Up, but not higher than your shoulders. Not up here. It's not a robbery. It's a push-up. Down here, and let's push back. Body in a straight line. If it's too hard, step closer. If it's too easy, step back, but make sure that you lower your arms. All right, let's give those arms a shake. And just by doing those 3 sets, you should be pretty warm. So now we're going to go to the band, which I have already hung above my door. Remember, the nub is on the outside of the door away from you, and the handle that you're going to hold, or the end of the band, is on the inside of the room with you, okay? Now, the first 3 exercises, we want to face the anchor point where that's hooked on the door. And for the first exercise, we're going to row, pulling our elbow right towards the side of the body. So, if you can notice, I'm not moving. I don't want to turn because I want to face the anchor. But my elbow is right near my body, and I'm actually going to try and pull hard enough that my hand disappears behind the side of my body. See that? Now, in order to make that happen, I had to step closer because it's too hard. If it's too hard, you step closer to make it easier. If it's too easy, you step back. But do you see how my elbow is coming out behind me and my hand is disappearing behind my body? That's what you're looking for. All right, we're going to try and do about 5 more. Remember, count if you want to be exact. 12 to 15 of these. Good. Now, for our second set, we're going to lift the elbow. As soon as you lift the elbow out to the side, your hand turns to face the floor. See that? It's no longer pointing in, it's pointing down. Now, with your elbow up and your hand down, we're going to take a bunch of pulls. Again, don't turn your body away from the anchor, but if I did, you would see that I'm doing this motion. My elbow is up. You'll see it when we get to the other arm. And again, see how my elbow is disappearing behind my body and my hand is coming to the side, if I can. So I'm doing my best, pulling my hardest. Also, where are my feet and my knees? My feet are split and my knees are bent to give me good, firm support. Okay, one more exercise on this arm, and that's going to be a press down. I'm going to start right where I am here with this arm long and straight in front of me. I might want to come closer because this one's going to be a challenge, and press my hand down next to my thigh or hip, straight down from that anchor point. Good. Now, see my wrist? I do not want my wrist to bend upward. Ouch. I want a straight, strong wrist to come down next to my leg. Okay, it's hard, so I'm going to move closer. Good. Keep breathing. Keep your belly in. Try to stay tall with your knees bent. Good. How about one more? All right, we're going to do all 3 of those with the other hand. So we'll start with the elbow coming close to the body, trying to pull behind you as the hand comes right next to your bottom rib. Okay, I'm going in a little bit because it's kind of challenging. A lot of these sets come with multiple colors and thicknesses of bands. This one actually has 5 different thicknesses. So I could put a lighter band on here if I wanted to. I just didn't. Okay, knees are bent, abs are tight. Keep breathing. And now we're going to switch. I'm going to lift my elbow out to the side. See how my palm turns to face the floor? And I pull back. So this feels a little different than the last one. 3 more to go. I'm really feeling my core muscles too, because I'm trying to stabilize my body as it moves. And now for that last exercise, starting with my arm long and straight, I'm going to press it down to the side of my hip. I'm moving in because it's getting hard. Pretty soon I'll be completely out of the frame, and all you'll have to see is Jeffrey. He would like that. Now, see my shoulder? My shoulder really wants to hike up like this. Don't let it. Keep it down, okay? I know this is hard work. That's okay. That's what we want, right? We want to make a difference. And if you can only do 8 or 10 or 12, that's fine. Do what you can. Maybe tomorrow you get a little stronger. All right, one more. Perfect. Now we're going to turn around, facing away from your anchor point. The anchor point is always very important because it's going to gauge your activity. So the first thing we're going to do is press the band down, which means we want to start with the hand up. Now, my arm can go high up, but maybe yours can't, and that's okay. Wherever you can start is fine. If you can only start here, that's okay. But we're going to try and push the band down in front of you, like you're reaching it out forward. Now, the way I'm standing could be better. If I have one foot slightly further forward, I feel more stable. I have more power, and I have more support. So belly in, feet staggered, knees bent. Pressing forward like I'm making my arm longer with each push, really pulling it out from the shoulder, through the knuckles, and again, my wrists are nice and strong. Not down, not bent back up like that, strong and straight. Let's do a couple more. Good. Now, from here, from this front point, we're going to move into the next exercise, which is a chest press, which means my elbow is going to bend wide and out to the side, and then I push forward again. All right, let's keep that motion going. Now you notice I've put this hand on this thigh because I could even step further forward, and that gives me more of a lean, and it gives me more room to move, a place to go with my arm. So you really want to lean into this one. Keep the belly tight. And we'll do a few more. And I should be feeling the shoulders and also across the side of my chest, maybe the back of my arm too, because it's starting to get tired. How about one more? Good. And now we'll do those on the other side. So I'm going to back up because I'm doing this safely, right? I don't want to take this hand and go, let me switch hands and reach back. No, I'm going to step in, carefully switch it to the other hand, raise it above me, get that firm supported stance, and then press it forward. Remember, I'm creating length from my shoulder through my knuckles, pushing in front of me. The band comes right over my shoulder. Belly is tight so that we're not moving the body with the band, right? That's a bad thing. Just the arm is moving. Let's do 3 more. And then I'm going to stop at this forward point and go right into the chest press. So my elbow goes back and my hand pushes forward. If I can step further forward to lean into it, even better. Supporting myself with the other hand on the thigh. Not letting my shoulders hike up. Shoulders are down, away from the ears. Because if you are going to do some work on your shoulders, you want to make sure they're in the right position when you build muscle and when you stretch muscle. Let's do just a couple more. All right, very good. So I'm going to step back and let that band go. Now for the next couple of exercises, I only need a straight band without any handles. So I'm going to move to another different color for the next group. Now this one has no handles on it. I could put a handle on it, but I'm not going to right now. I'm just going to use it like this. Let's do the fan. The fan is going to really challenge the top of your shoulder. If you hold the right hand on one end of the band and put your right foot on the other end of the band, we're going to just start to lift that band up and down in front of us. So right now my arm is pointing forward. It's nice and long. I do have a small bend in the elbow, okay? Not a big bend, but it's not locked straight either. Small bend. You see how my palm is facing down, okay? So like this is different. Palm facing down is a lot more work. Can we start moving the arm out to the side every time you lift? So it's making like a fan shape. That's why I call it the fan. It looks like that to me. Now we're all the way out to the side here. A little bit of a different angle on your muscle. Let's bring it forward again. You want to try to take about maybe 8 to get all the way out, and then 8 to come forward again. Good. And here we are back in the center. All right. Now we're going to try and press this hand up to the ceiling. So this band is going to be a challenge for me. Maybe I'll have to switch to the other one. You can decide what you want to do. But you want to start here with your elbow bent and try and press all the way up to the ceiling. Good. So this is really hard for me. Good. You keep going. I'm going to get an easier band. So keep pressing. All right. Did you finish? Good. All right, let's do the whole thing on the other side. Let's start with the fan. Now I have an easier band. Yay. Okay, left hand and left foot. And we'll start with that. Now you can see this band is much easier. So I can tighten it by stepping closer, or I can loosen it by stepping further away. So make it what you need it to be so that it's achievable, but not crazy hard either, okay? And we're going out to the side slowly, taking about 8 to get there. Nice. And then slowly coming back in. Same thing, a little bit at a time. Good. All right. Now I'm going to actually loosen it a little more so I have some room to take that overhead press. Now, you can do the band behind your elbow like I'm doing right now, or like I did in the last set with it in front of your elbow. Doesn't matter, okay? Whatever is more comfortable for you, okay? Doesn't matter. Straight wrists though, okay? No bendy wrists, no hands flopping back like that. That's it. We'll do 3 more. You count. Do your own count. All right, and stop and take a drink if you need one, right? You can always pause the video, have a drink, come back. Okay, the next segment we're going to do is only going to require a small amount of band. So if you have one with handles, you can either let them hang like this. Some people don't like that. You could put your hands through the handles so that they don't pull downward, and then just hold the band in the middle. But what we're going to do is hold the band so that you have about 8 inches of band in between you, okay? If you don't have handles, you're going to put one hand at the top of the band. Let's use this one. And the other hand maybe just 8 to 10 inches away from it, okay? And you don't need to worry about the rest of the band. We're just going to pull. And we're going to pull both hands. So you want to pull the top hand up and the bottom hand down. All right, a lot of us will end up using one arm more than the other. Try not to. Try to use them both equally. Good, that's it. And never letting your band become floppy, okay? If it flops in the middle like this, it's not good. All right, let's switch now. We're going to put the left hand on the top, the right hand underneath it. Arms are long and away from you, right? Not like this, but out here as we pull. Both arms are moving. Even if they're not moving a lot, that's okay. My band is pretty thick, so if you have a thinner band, it'll go further. That's good. Remember, you have a good supportive stance in the rest of your body, and your belly is tight. Nice. Now, we're going to turn the band horizontal. We're going to hold it for the first set with our palms facing up and your elbows stuck to your body. Now that's important. We're going to try and pull your hands a little wider. Okay, but not pulling your elbows away from your body. That's very different. You'll see if you can adjust and really keep your elbows tight, you'll feel the difference. If you want to try it and move your elbows away from your body and see that feels very different, and go back to keeping those elbows in check. Always tension on the band, right? We never have a floppy band. Good. Now, the exact same exercise, but with your palms facing the floor, okay? So we pull. It's going to feel different just because your palms are facing a different way. Nice. Keep your belly tight, your body tall. Nice. Let's do 3 more. Good. All right. Now for the next exercise, I am going to use my lighter band because we're going to pull it farther. Okay, if you only have one band, it's okay. But again, if you have multiples, it does come in handy. Now we have the band higher up and with long arms. So I'm not limited to keeping my elbows in on this one. They are free to move outward nice and wide as I pull my shoulder blades in towards each other. Picture your shoulder blades behind you, pulling into your spine. The whole arm opening and the band maybe even touching you right there in your sternum, right above your chest. Okay? No floppy bands. We don't want this in the middle. Okay? We want strong arms out and in. Like I mentioned earlier, if you don't like it swinging around, just put your hands through the handles, wear them like bracelets, and pull. Good. Stay strong with the rest of the body. Knees bent, belly tight. That's it. We'll do a couple more. Your shoulders should be getting tired by now. Excellent. All right. So we have one more, and that's going to go behind your back. Now this one is tough, so just do what you can. And again, I'm using my lighter band. I'm going to bring my band behind the back and hold my hands so that my palms face backwards. My hands are only slightly wider than my hips, and I pull. Now, I'm only moving this far because I'm using a very light band. If you're using a heavier band, you might not be able to move very far at all. That's okay. Your knees are soft. Your belly is tight. Very good. Just 3 more. Perfect. All right, nice. And so actually, that's our last band exercise. Now we're just going to take a few stretches for those arms, okay? And the first one that I really like is the snow angel. We all know how to do that. We're going to stand against a wall, though, so you don't have to lay on the ground in the snow. Like, nicer, much nicer. Take your hands, backs of your hands against the wall, and try to raise them. Now, you may not get any higher than this. That's okay. You may be able to go higher. You may be able to bring your hands all the way next to your ears. You may not. It's okay. Only do what you're comfortable with, moving your arms up and down the wall like a snow angel. Please never force anything. This is supposed to be therapeutic. It's not supposed to cause you pain, and it's not supposed to be harmful to your muscles. So we want to find our own range of motion and work it. All right, we're just going to take a couple more. Now, if you'd like to try a little change on this, you can also do the snow angels with your hands flipped over, and you'll find it feels very different. Let's see how high we can go now. There's no way you're going to get your hands over your head for this one. okay? But how high can you go? Maybe that, maybe that, maybe horizontal, maybe not. Just do what's right for you. It does give a good stretch. You should be feeling the shoulders becoming more open, more blood flow getting in there. Let's do one more. Good. All right. Now, one of my personal favorites, the shoulder circle. Take a step forward and the opposite arm will hang. This way you have room because this leg will be behind you. You have room to really circle that arm. And I want you to be relaxed. That shoulder is so loose. You're not pushing it at all. It's not like this. It's not like a tight circle. It's so loose. It's just taking the momentum and whipping itself around, not whipping in a painful, bad way, in a nice, relaxing way. And then go the opposite direction. This is a great, great, great way to loosen up your arms and your shoulders and your neck if you're tired. It's also a good way to warm up your arms and your shoulders and your hands if you're cold. Let's switch. Excellent. Really relax that shoulder, okay? And you can lean into it so that gravity and momentum are both helping you. And then switch the other way. Very good. All right. Now, let's put your hands on your shoulders and try to circle the elbows. A little more targeted here. If it's not comfortable, if you don't like it, don't do it. Yeah, that's it. All right, I'm just going to get a little closer so you see what I'm doing. All right. You want to try and keep your hands on your shoulders if you can. And now let's go the opposite direction. Nice. Good. And then we'll try to just go forward and open and forward and open. Okay. If it hurts, don't do it. Okay, one more time. And then let's drop those arms down to the side and just give a little stretch to your neck by turning your head one way. Try not to move your body. So a lot of times when we turn our heads, we also tip the body. So we don't want to do that. So if you have something vertical behind you, like, you know, the end of a wall or a design in the wallpaper, try to line your body up with that and then just turn your head and hold it here. And if you want, close your eyes and breathe. And picture your spine growing taller as you breathe. Really let your shoulders relax and hang down. And then gently, slowly, we never want to pop out of a stretch. We turn to the other side. Keep your body tall and straight. Turn your head and look over here. Good. See, Jeffrey does these all the time. And his neck is nice and long and straight, and he's very limber. All right, bring your head back to center. Good job. So hopefully your shoulders are feeling pretty warm, maybe a little loose, and maybe your neck feels a little better, a little looser. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.